The question that we've been asked is, let's say, I have companies like Terranet and other companies that I kind of use them for paying disbursements, like searches or those kind of issues. Now, I don't use them, pay them on a client basis. I pay them in bulk. Let's say I pay $500 to Terranet, and each search costs me $100, and I use it 5 times for 5 different clients. How would I do that in uLaw? Now, to do that, you need to understand accounting a little bit more in detail. Now, as part of assets, we have something called deposits and prepaid. And in that, you have prepaid expenses, but you can also create, other categories. Like, for example, I've created one here called disbursements and prepaid. You can create one called just for TerraView. You can say TerraView prepaid expenses, or you can do process server. That can be another prepaid. The way you would do that is the normal accounting. You would say add account, asset, it's a deposit and prepaid, account that you would just click here. You would click, like, say, for example, Encore, and then you hit the save button. So that's how I created some of these accounts, like, the ones you saw right there, like, the TerraView, or the disbursements prepaid, or such accounts. I just created them by just doing the add new account. And once you do that, whenever you buy that from TerraView, what you'll do is you'll click on action button, and there is an prepayment purchase button under asset. You'll go there and you'll say how that prepayment was actually done. Let's say it was TerraView expense and you bought $500, right? You can say search cost for 5 license, right? Like, each license being $100. How did you pay for it? Maybe you paid it from your general bank and you wrote TerraView a check, and you can say paid to TerraView, and you can even print the check right at that point, and you can hit the submit button. So now all you've done is you entered your expense to TerraView. Now what happens is, let's say there's a matter for Amiri, which is a civil litigation matter, and this is where you need to apply the first search for $100, right? What you can do is you can do add disbursement, and you can say transfer it from my prepayment distribution, right? You can say, hey, search cost, I don't know, maybe it's a title search or some kind of search, right? I'm just going to use, say, utility search, and let's say it is $100 is the amount, and for some reason the tax is 0, right? Okay, let's say that's what it is. You can actually put the same amount here, and you can see $100, tax is 0, and then choose, the TerraView prepaid account, and you can say, it was paid to TerraView. And what you've now done is that $100, you've transferred it as a disbursement to this person. Hit the save button. Okay, I'll show you inside the new disbursement. Rather than being paid from general or miscellaneous expense or consultancy, which is your normal disbursement that you paid from general, you'll use something called prepayment to disbursement. Basically, you're taking the prepayment that you already established and transferring it to disbursement. Now, for some advanced users, let's show you what this means in terms of accounting. So in accounting, when you actually go into the asset account and you look at your prepaid and deposit TerraView, you will now see 2 entries. One is the $500, that was basically credited off your general account and it was parked under assets. And this other one is for immediate year that you're seeing the $100 credit being applied. So this 500 of credit of 100 has been applied. That means only 400 is still left on this account to be dispersed. Now it could be another matter. Let's say I'm going to go to another one, say Angelina Jolie. She doesn't even have a matter, so let's pick one. Let's say Andrea Flower. Actually has a good matter, so you can say add new disbursement. Again, prepayments, and I can say this is another utility search. Again, $100. I'm going to get rid of the tax because there's no tax. If there was an HST, you would put it there, and then you would put here the amount. Let's say $100 here again, and you would get rid of it, and then you would mark it again as TerraView, right? You can say pay to TerraView and hit the save button. So now you will see that when I go back to the account, you will now see $200 actually now removed, out of the $500 credit that we actually have. Now at any given point of time, if there's something that you need to do with changes, searches, you can always go back to the matter and change it. Like for example, the date when this was purchased, the asset was earlier, you can just click on this amount. Let's say, hey, it was not done on the 12th, it was done on the 3rd. You would just unlock it, and if there's any spelling mistakes, oh, this was checked, you would always do that and hit the submit button. So that will actually change the date. And similarly, if you want to change anything with respect to this, you can click on the amount here, but we strongly recommend, you can either do it from here, or you actually go to that matter and do it right in the matter. You can just say click edit item and say, hey, that was on the 10th, or you can change certain other things like spellings or anything like that. You obviously need to unlock it, and then you have to hit the save button, and then when you hit the save button, the date will change. Now this item is now part of the invoice. Like for example, if I would do a quick pre-bill, right, you should now see that the client will be requested to pay the $100 of disbursement, right? It will be part of the invoice, and the expense, as you saw, already got recorded when you actually put that as an transferable expense, and and it'll go into client recorded expense and then move on from there. So this is one of the best ways of doing it in uLaw, where you capture it as what we call a prepaid expense by putting it as an asset and then transferring it. Now, you don't have to just do this for client related disbursements. You can also do it for your office expense. You can always say, hey, prepayment that happened. There are other videos that we have on prepayments that you can watch in uLaw Answers for office expense, but this one clearly explains prepayments that you use for client expenses.